Welcome to another edition of Smalltalk for You. This morning we're going to start looking at the browser in VA Smalltalk and just kind of explore what the various parts of it are. So to get started, we'll go to Tools, Browse Classes, and we'll pull down the Classes browser, and we have our list of classes in alphabetic order. First thing you might notice here is this public-private switch down here, and that's because in VA you can mark classes in addition to methods as private. So if I flip over here, you'll notice I see a bunch of things that are grayed out. That's because those are public classes. You also see a bunch of things that aren't grayed out. Those are private classes. So let's flip back to public for a moment. We'll go to Object. It'll have a lot of things so we can look at pretty much all the functionality. Over here we see the various applications. These are the applications that implement bits of the functionality in Object. So we have Object, we have Core, which is selected. And if you scroll down this list of categories, you see the method categories, most of which are grayed out, and that's because those are defined in some other applications. Let's take the ANSI API. We have error colon. That's a public method, and you can tell that up here, implemented in Object in the application core. So we have our application, our class, our category of methods, and our actual method. If we flip to private, we see nothing. If we flip to all, we go back and see error. Going down below, let's select error. We see by default we're going to see the definition of the method. You see method sources defined here as the tab we're selected, but you can go to the class definition at any time. You can also go to the method comment. And here we have a default copyright notice from OTI going back to when VA Smalltalk originated. And we have method notes. In VA Smalltalk, you can have both a comment for a method and a comment for the notes for a method. So you can actually document in a couple of different ways if you so choose. Most people leave notes empty. It's just the way things have evolved. Method comments you can put in here. Of course, you can put them in line with double quotes as you see here. So there's kind of a couple of different ways you can do things. Let's continue on. Let's go over here to private. You'll notice everything is going to look the same except that here we have our class, here we have our application, here we have the category of methods, and here we have nothing under public because everything in this private class is in fact private. So we have to go over to the private tab or to all in order to see things. So you can see everything over here, and it's going to tell you whether things are public or private, although as you often see the method comments are out of date. That's just the way these things go. If you go back to public, let's go to Object. You can flip between the instance and the class side, of course, as you can in most Smalltalks. And of course, we'll pick here a category, and here's a method that is called after load. So this is the way things fire up in Envy. When you load something after this particular application is loaded, this method will fire. So you can see the way things are put together in the browser. And that's pretty much a coverage of all the things here. There's a lot of menus here and a lot of toolbar items. We'll go through that in a future screencast. I think that's pretty much enough for one go through. So it's better for today. Until next time, have fun with whatever Smalltalk you're using.